The moment Lieutenant Maya Torres stepped onto the deck of the carrier, the air shifted. Conversations hushed. Every set of eyes turned toward her. A stranger in an old uniform, wearing insignia that didn't match any known records. Someone in the crowd whispered, "She's not on the roster." Another voice followed. Colder, "She's an impostor." Maya didn't respond. She just stood there, the sea wind whipping her short black hair across her face, her gaze locked on the flag rippling above the ship. Beneath her left sleeve, the faint outline of a tattoo pulsed, a mark she'd sworn never to reveal again. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. 2 years earlier, Maya's world had been torn apart. Her squadron, Task Unit Echo, had gone down during a covert rescue mission in the South Pacific. She was the only one who made it back, clinging to a life raft for 3 days before a passing freighter found her. By the time she reached land, she was declared missing in action, and now she had returned. But not to glory, to doubt. The base officers eyed her as if she were a ghost, or worse, a fraud trying to wear a dead soldier's name. Captain Briggs, a man built like stone, stepped forward. "Lieutenant Torres," he said, voice sharp, "we have no official record of your reassignment. No orders, no authorization. Until verification, you'll remain under review." Maya nodded slowly. "Understood, sir," but deep inside her pulse raced. Because she knew the truth, and the truth she feared might cost her everything. That night she sat alone in the barracks. The walls were lined with photos of fallen heroes, and among them, her own face stared back from a faded print labeled KIA. She whispered to the empty room, "Guess they buried me twice." Outside, rain began to fall. Soft at first, then heavy, drumming against the metal roof like the memory of helicopter blades. Maya reached into her locker, pulling out a small metal tag, her old squadron emblem, carved with a winged serpent wrapping around a dagger. The same symbol inked on her arm. Only 12 soldiers ever bore it. All 12 had been marked as lost, or so they thought. Morning came with orders. The Admiral himself had requested to see her. As she walked through the corridor, tension rippled around her like static. Crew members stared, whispered, even laughed. She forged her papers. Probably a deserter. Another wannabe hero. But when she entered the Admiral's office, the air grew still. Admiral Rowan, a man known for never showing emotion, stood with his back to her, staring out toward the open sea. "Lieutenant Torres," he said without turning, "you claim to be part of Task Unit Echo." "Yes, sir." "And yet the entire unit was confirmed destroyed." "I know, sir." Finally, he turned to face her. His eyes narrowed. "Then explain this miracle." Maya hesitated. The words caught in her throat. How could she explain what had happened? The mission gone wrong, the betrayal, the cover-up that had erased 12 good soldiers from existence. Instead, she simply rolled up her sleeve. The Admiral froze. There it was, the serpent and dagger tattoo, faded but unmistakable. His own hand trembled slightly as he reached up and unbuttoned his cuff. On his forearm, the same symbol stared back. The silence that followed was thick enough to stop the clock. Rowan's voice dropped to a whisper. "Who gave you that mark?" "You did, sir," Maya replied softly. "Before Operation Iron Veil." The color drained from his face. "That mission was classified beyond clearance. Only the 12 of us knew," she finished. "And one betrayed us." Her voice broke then, the first crack in her composure since she'd stepped aboard. "They left us behind, sir. You know it. They called it an accident, but someone wanted us erased." The Admiral's jaw tightened. He turned away, gripping the edge of his desk until his knuckles whitened. For a moment, Maya thought he might throw her out. Instead, he pressed a button on his intercom. "Security," he said. "Cancel the review. Lieutenant Torres is reinstated effective immediately." Word spread through the ship like wildfire. The impostor was real. The whispers turned into stunned silence, then quiet respect. Some avoided her eyes. Others saluted without a word. But Maya didn't smile. Vindication wasn't victory. It was just the first step toward truth. That night, she stood on the deck again, watching the sun dip below the waves. The Admiral joined her, silent for a long time before speaking. "I should have fought harder," he said finally. "For them. For you," she nodded. "We all did what we thought was right. Sir," he glanced down at her tattoo again, a mark of loyalty, of sacrifice, of survival. "Maybe it's time we tell the world what really happened," he said quietly. And for the first time in years, she felt the weight on her chest ease. Not gone, but lighter. Days later, official records were corrected. Task Unit Echo was honored, their names engraved in the Hall of Valor. And beneath them, newly etched, one line stood out: "For those who refuse to vanish." Maya touched her tattoo once more, feeling the pulse beneath it. A heartbeat stronger than doubt, than betrayal, than silence, because courage doesn't fade. It endures, even when forgotten. And like the tide, truth always finds its way back. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Whispered Words, where every story reminds us that courage, no matter how buried, always rises again.